Brief history of Northern Song Dynasty. The formal collapse of the Tang in 907 AD ends an era of unity. Rebel leader Zhu Wen usurps the throne to establish the later Liang. 5 ephemeral regimes rise in the north, while 10 stable kingdoms form in the south. Inner Asian nomadic groups, specifically the Khitan, grow in political influence. Shi Jingtang founds the later Jin with critical military aid from the Khitan. The 16 prefectures are ceded, stripping China of its natural northern defenses. Southern kingdoms like the Shu benefit from advanced irrigation and farming. States like Wuyue flourish through extensive maritime trade networks. Woodblock printing reaches perfection, with the Confucian classics printed by 953 AD. The southern Tang becomes a haven for opulence and the arts. The later Zhou begins administrative stabilization before its emperor's early death. This era of chaos paves the way for the institutional innovations of the Song. Troops gather at Qinqiao for a calculated military coup. Zhao Guangyin is awakened and proclaimed emperor by his loyal soldiers. This Qinqiao mutiny marks the founding of the Song dynasty. Taizu vows to end the cycle of violent, short-lived regime. He implements a policy of strengthening the trunk and weakening the branches. He targets the prosperous southern states for reunification first. Regional military governors are systematically replaced by civil administrators. Taizu uses detailed maps and atlases for better provincial management. The state supports scientific endeavors, including astronomical clock construction. By his death in 976, Taizu has unified most of China. His brother, Taizong, completes the task by destroying the northern Han in 979 AD. The transition to a centralized, meritocratic state is now underway. Taizu invites his senior generals to a grand celebratory dinner. He confesses his fear that another coup might one day target him. He asks them to relinquish their military power for the good of the state. He offers them wealth, honors, and sinecures in exchange for retirement. This maneuver is known as a cup of wine to relinquish military power. The finest military units are placed under personal imperial control. This structural surgery removes the threat of regional military autonomy. Power shifts from military families to a new class of scholar officials. Peace is secured through wealth and administrative positions. The Song effectively demilitarizes the state's political structure. The cycle of military volatility is finally broken. The foundation for centuries of stability is firmly established. Kaifeng becomes the vibrant imperial capital and commercial hub. Unlike ancient Chang'an, Kaifeng is an open, commercial city. Commerce thrives in bustling street markets that stay open late. The city reflects the dynasty's focus on scientific and economic pragmatism. Efficient administration becomes the hallmark of Song governance. The capital attracts a diverse population of merchants and scholars. Detailed atlases are used to manage the vast provinces. The city is a center for the dissemination of imperial policy. The economy becomes increasingly commercialized and money-based. Infrastructure projects like canals drive the city's growth. The city reflects the rise of the new gentry scholar class. It is the pulsing heart of the Northern Song world. The civil service exam becomes the normal ladder to success. Candidates spend years mastering the 5 classics and the Analects. Numbers grow from 30,000 to over 400,000 aspirants by the era's end. Anonymization is used to replace names with identifying numbers. Every script is recopied to hide the candidate's handwriting from judge. The Jinshi degree is the ultimate prize of this meritocratic system. Success brings immense prestige to a scholar's entire family. Officials are expected to master the 4 accomplishments. Even those without posts serve as local gentry and leaders. Literacy and moral cultivation define this new social elite. They believe they have the moral mandate to criticize the ruler. This system ensures the rebirth of a bureaucratic state. Neo-Confucianism, Li Shu, synthesizes ethics with metaphysics. Zhou Dunyi explains the fluctuations of yin and yang. Zhang Zai argues that all people are part of the same cosmic body. The Qing brothers urge the investigation of things to find truth. Li is seen as the underlying structure of all existence. These ideas provide a framework for the bureaucratic order. Xiaoyang focuses on the mathematical laws of the universe. They found the influential school of principle. Their philosophy creates courageous critics of state corruption. These works come to dominate Chinese intellectual life for centuries. Scholars study how Li and Qi interact to form reality. Philosophy and governance are now inextricably linked. Shin Kuo documents advancements in every field of knowledge. He discovers true north and the concept of magnetic declination. He hypothesizes that land is formed by erosion and silt deposition. He speculates that climates shift over vast periods of time. He describes the pound lock, revolutionizing canal navigation. Bisheng arranging small clay blocks on a plate. This technology revolutionizes the dissemination of knowledge. The magnetic compass is used for deep-sea navigation by 1119. The Song military develops early gunpowder weapons and rifles. Iron and steel production flourishes at an industrial scale. Exquisite ceramics are mass-produced for global export. The era represents a technological and scientific hegemony. Relations with the Khitan Liao are defined by the Chenyuan Treaty. The treaty recognizes two sons of heaven as diplomatic equals. The Song pays an annual tribute to maintain the peace. Border defenses are frozen, leading to a century of stability. Some officials see the treaty as a loss of imperial prestige. The Western Xia Tanguts challenged the Song border in 1038. Logistical failures hamper the invasion of the Western Xia. The Song provides payments for security of the Herxi corridor. The Song forms an alliance with the Jurchens to destroy the Liao. This secret pact backfires as the Jin turn against the Song. The sophisticated multi-state order begins to crumble. The era of buying peace is coming to an end. Landscape painting symbolizes the search for universal principles. Fan Quan's work represents the monumental style of nature. Guxi uses cloud-head strokes to capture nature's life force. Sushi pioneers the bold and unconstrained style of Qi poetry. Li Qingzhao becomes the premier female poet of the age. Art, poetry, and calligraphy fuse into the three perfections. Cultural refinement is seen as a prerequisite for leadership. Simple, expressive art becomes the preferred aesthetic. The Qi poetic form reaches its golden age in the Song. This represents the cultural apex of pre-modern civilization. The Jurchen-led Jin dynasty quickly destroys the Liao. The Song Emperor Huizong abdicates as the Jin armies approach. By December 1126, Kaifeng is under siege. On January 9, 1127, the capital city falls. The Jin forces plunder the imperial library and palace. Both emperors are captured as prisoners of war. The court is marched north in the Humiliation of Jingkang. Captives suffer from starvation and violence during the trek. In a ritual of shame, the emperors are demoted to commoners. Prince Zhaogo escapes to re-establish the dynasty in the south. The southern Song begins, as the north is lost to the Jin. The northern Song's legacy endures in the south.